Hi guys, this is NagoorBabu from DURGASOFT Solutions. In the previous videos regarding this JDBC, we have seen already how to create a table, how to insert records, how to update database table, how to delete records from database table, and how to drop the table also through an interview question. These examples we have seen. Overall, in the previous examples, to write and execute SQL queries, only one method here we have seen. That method is execute update method. In JDBC overall, if you want to write and execute SQL queries, overall three methods here we are going to use. The first one is anyway execute update method. And here some SQL query, and second one is execute query method, this one, and the third method is execute method. Overall three methods here we provided. Statement interface has provided these three methods to write and execute SQL queries. Execute update method we have seen almost all 4 to 5 examples we have seen. This execute update method can be used to execute non-select SQL queries. That means that create table, alter table, drop table, insert records, update records, delete records, and so on. These examples. Next one, execute query method. This method can be used to execute select SQL queries in order to fetch the data from database table. And execute method can be used to execute both the types of SQL queries, select and non-select SQL queries. So now we are going to see execute query method and its implementation part clearly. Right, if you want to go for execute query method, just we need to go for a topic. The topic would be result set topic. Result set is a concept. What exactly the meaning of result set in JDBC applications? In the case of JDBC applications, what exactly the meaning of result set? So I'll explain through a diagram. Try to observe this. For example, we have a database. Now this is database clearly. This is database. Now inside this database, I am able to have one table. The name of the table would be, for example, EMP1 table. Inside this EMP1 table, I am going to have some columns, nearly 3 columns I want to maintain. ENO, ename, esal. Overall 3 columns here we are going to maintain. First one is ENO, second one is ename, and next one is esal. 3 columns. So here I want to provide, this is exactly the table inside our database. Now inside this table 3 columns are existed. We can identify this. Next one, another one. Assume here we have some data. Already some data is existed, some records of data is existed. 111. Next one is AAA, and the next one is, for example, 5000. In the same way, 222. Next one is BBB, and the next one is, for example, 6000. Next one is 333 CCC, and next one is 7000, for example, 444, and DDD, and 8000, like this. Overall records are existed, 4 records are existed in a database table. For example, now here I want to take Java program. This is Java application clearly. Right, this is Java application. Right, at Java application, okay, and this is Java application. Now here database engine is existed to execute our SQL queries. Database engine DBE, and at the same time JDBC driver might be existed, type 1 driver or type 2 driver or type 3 or type 4, whatever it may be. Some JDBC driver would be existed at Java site. JDBC driver. Connection will be established between these two. Like this. Connection is established between might be database engine and driver, in the sense automatically it will be connection between like Java application and database. Almost we can identify this. Fine. After that, if you want to get result set object, if you want to think about it as a result set object, result set is an object. It is able to store data which was fetched from database table when we are executing select SQL query. In JDBC application, when we execute select SQL query, automatically at Java set result set object will be created. So here what I will do there, result set rs is equal to st dot execute query method, not execute update method. Here we are going to use select star from mp1. This is SQL query. Here I provided select star from mp1. I want to retrieve all the records of mp1 table into Java program. Alright, it is very clear. This is about our SQL query. When we provide this SQL query like this along with execute query method, automatically that SQL query will be given to which one, you know, JDBC driver, any driver, whatever it may be, some driver. Then JDBC driver will pass that SQL query to connection. Here connection will take this which one, you know, SQL query, and connection will carry that SQL query to database engine. So here database engine will take that SQL query and database engine will execute that SQL query by passing 4 steps. By performing 4 steps. What are the 4 steps, you know? The first one is query tokenization, and the next one is query parsing, next one is query optimization, next one is query execution. These these things are performed here. By performing these 4 actions, automatically database engine will get data from database table, mp1 table. The total data will be given to which one, you know, connection. Now connection will take the data from database engine and connection will carry that data from connection to JDBC driver. Now JDBC driver will take this data from connection. JDBC driver will send the data to the Java application in the form of an object. That object would be which one, you know, result set object. So definitely at Java side one object will be created. That object would be which one, you know, result set object. So here we can identify it, result set object is created. This is result set object at Java program. So this result set object is referred by a variable. That variable is which one, you know, rs variable. So rs is already taken in our program. That's why here we are getting this result set object. Here we are getting all the data of the employee1 table, emp1 table, emp1 table data we are having. This is employee1 table data. Next one, whenever we are having employee1 table data, by using some mechanisms we can retrieve the data from result set object. We can display the data here. So everything is okay clearly, but here how we are going to retrieve the data from this particular result set object. To retrieve the data from result set object, what exactly the mechanisms here we have to use. Let's say for example, we thought about it, this is a result set object. This is result set object, very clear. Inside the result set object, here we have some data. Okay, fine. Which data is existed here? I will give clarity. This is rs variable, for example. Now here, what about this data here? We can understand it. First of all, env variable, ename variable, vsal variable. Then after these variables and all these things now we can understand data is available. Data is directly taken from database, the data will be displayed. So what exactly the data here we displayed here? Just 4 records of data. 111 and let's say for example some space is required 111. Then after this 111 AAA, next one is 5000. Then this is the data. Then after this like another record data which was taken from database table anyway 222. Next one is BBP and 6000 and the next one is let's say for example 333 and next one is CCC, next one is 7000. Then after that last record it would be like 444. Next one DDD. Then after completion of this DDD you have to go for 8000 like this. See one point here clearly, this is the result set object which was already created by JDBC driver at Java program with the fetch data. But here what we have to recognize now, whenever result set object is created, automatically a pointer is created. That pointer is created called as result set cursor. This cursor or pointer is the position before the first record initially. Fine. If you want to read the data from result set object, first we have to check, we need to go for 2-step process. Step number 1. First we have to check whether next record is existed or not from the current cursor position. To check whether next record is existed or not from the cursor current position. Okay, if next record is existed from the current cursor position, move that cursor to the next record position. Like this here we have to do the step number 1. Step number 1 is, first of all we have to check whether any record, next record is existed or not from the current cursor position. If next record is available, move cursor to the next record position. Right, to perform up to this work, here we are going to use one method. That method would be which one? Public boolean next method. Of course, and throws SQL exception. This is very common. Public boolean SQL exception. You can understand it. This is one method. This is the next method is a boolean method. It will check whether next record is existed or not from current cursor position. If next record is existed, it will return true and it will move cursor to the next record position. If next record is not existed, it will return false value. That's okay. After moving cursor to the next record position, we have to read data from the columns individually at the respective row. Read the data from row. Reading the data from row in the sense, read the data from the individual columns. To read data from any particular individual column, here we have to go for a separate method. That separate method would be which one? Public xxx get xxx method. Here we need to use where into column index, here we need to provide column index, and of course and throws as usual, and throws SQL exception that we are able to get anyway. Then after that another method here what we are able to use there, public xxx get xxx, where string column name we need to use as usual, throws SQL exception here we need to use. Like this, the other methods here, where small xxx is which one? No, primitive values directly. Get xxx is which one here? No, directly methods to get the columns individually. So these are the various methods here we need to use to retrieve the data from result set object. Fine. First of all, let us start our process here. First, cursor is available before the first record. So I want to check whether next record is available or not. For that purpose, here we have to use boolean b1 is equal to rs dot next method. Very clear. If b1 double equals to true, it means that b1 method is returning true in the sense. What is the meaning of it now? Next record is available. Then what next one here? We have to read the data from the columns here. So first from the current record, from the current cursor position, next record is available or not? Yes, exactly, next record is available. Move cursor to the current record position. This is current record position we moved here. When we move cursor to the current record position, then we need to read the data from columns individually. So first we need to read this 111 data, next we have to read AAA, next 5000. But to read the data here we need to use get XXX method. That XXX is depending on our column data type. For example, I want to say column index values here. This is index 1 for example. Now this is index 2 and this is index 3. Next one, I want to provide Java data types for each and every column. The Java data types, not SQL data types, no Java data types. For this ENO, I want to take integer, and for the C name, I want to take string, and for the C cell, I want to take it as which one? Float. They are the values. So, first of all, what I want to do there, if B1 double equals to true, it means that if next record is available, already we moved cursor to the next record position. Now here we have to read data from individual columns there. To get this data from individual columns, we have to use here system.out.println of simply rs.get int of 1 now. Then after that rs.get int of 1 semicolon. Next one system.out.println of rs.get a string of 2 in the second column. Out.println of rs. Get a float of 3 like this we provided and close this. That's all. So finally one record data here we retrieved. Whenever we retrieve this one record data, then immediately the cursor position would be which one, like this. This is a cursor position we can identify. So from which one to which one it was navigated here previously, no. Then previously through this next method, the cursor position is checked in this location only. So it will be transferred from before the first record to first record position that we transferred. That's all. After reading data from the first record, automatically cursor will come to the and before the second record position. Again the same process here we have to do. What about the same process here again? No. First we have to check from the current cursor position next record is available or not. For that purpose here what we have to do there, no, boolean b2 is equal to rs dot next method. If next record is available, then read columns data from next record. So that here what we have to do, if b2 double equals to true, it means that next record is available, read the data from next record. So as per that here, what about these intersections here we have to use system.out.println of rs.get int of 1, again same intersection. Next one system.out.println of, just we need to use rs.get string of 2 as per the second column data type and second column index. System.out.println of, here we need to go for rs dot and get a float of 3 like this we need to provide. So finally here we have to close this one. Like now this is about our content. So here also from the cursor position second record is available, next record is available, so that move that cursor to which one, next record position here, 2 to 2 record position. When we are moving cursor to the next record position, so this is moving from next record position here, just we can understand like this. So just moving from previous location to the second record position. After moving cursor to the next record position here, we need to read data from first column 2 to 2 and BBB and what next one, 6000 data here we are getting clearly. So whenever we are getting the data, automatically cursor will be moved to which one, before the third record position here. Again the same process here we have to do. Again check whether next record is available or not. If next record is available, move cursor to the next record position. Then after that read columns, read data from the individual columns clearly. Same process here we have to do up to all the number of records which are existed in our result set object. So here we are going to get the data here clearly, we can understand it. So here we are getting, we are checking like this, and next record position here we are getting there, we can identify this. So whenever we are getting this next record position there, then read data from the columns clearly. So we need to read the data from 333 and next one CCC and next one is which one, 7000. Same in sections. Again here we need to go for boolean b3 is equal to rs dot next. If b3 double equals to 2 and retrieve the data here. Same thing here we have to do. After reading data in the respective third record, then automatic cursor will come to the before the fourth record position here. So here also we need to check the same process. We need to use the same coding part. If record is existed, definitely record is existed, then move cursor to which record position here, fourth record position. Yes, move that. After moving cursor to the fourth record position, here we need to go for 444 and DDT and 8000 here, reading the data from individual columns. And again here we need to check boolean b4 is equal to rs.next method. From this location no records are available, then immediately next method will return false value. When next method returns false value, automatically we can understand. So no need to go for forwarding location here clearly. Why? Because it is already moved out clearly now. Right sir. Now observe this one, 4 records are available, so that here we are writing 4 times the same kind of coding part here. But instead of using directly if condition like this here, I want to take one while loop. Through this while loop, I want to repeat the same process for each and every record. So for this purpose, what I have to do, that what exactly the instructions here we have to use there. Simply I need to go for while rs.next. It means that how long is rs.next method return true value, up to the time this while loop is going to be executed. Here what we are going to provide here now, system.out.println of rs.getInt of 1, and next one system.out.println of rs.getString of 2, then after that system.out.println of rs.getFloat of 3. Like this we are able to provide. Finally all the records are going to be retrieved, and finally the data is going to be displayed here. This is story. Fine, this is totally theoretical content, and how records, how result set object is created. After getting this result set object, then how it is possible to get data from result set object. So these are the instructions here we need to use. Now let us see the same thing in practical view. Just we want to go for small JDBC program to retrieve the data from database table. Fine sir, let me go for Eclipse IDE in C drive, Eclipse icon, Eclipse will start. Right, then after this Eclipse, now this is d:/java2, okay, Eclipse will be loaded to the respective location, workbench. Right, Eclipse will be loaded, it's loading. Right sir. Now I want to prepare another small JDBC program, new Java project I want to take, project name JDBC app 6 I want to take for example, Java SC 1.7 or 1.8, no issues for it, and click on next button. Now here I required library OJDB6.jar file. I want to use type 4 driver provided by Oracle Corporation, OJDBC6, just add that library, click on finish button. Then I need to take a Java class, here this is SRC, right click on SRC here and new and click on class. So here we need to provide package com.DURGASOFT, and the name of this class would be JDBC app, like for example 6, and main method is required. Select this main method, click on finish button. Class will be created with the main method. Alright, some JDBC methods, some predefined library may arise some exceptions there, throws out some exceptions. To handle them, here I need to use throws exception, we have to use. I have inserted this as usual. First of all, we need to go for class.forName method. Class.forName method here we need to use. Then here I need to specify type 4 driver class name. The type 4 driver class name would be oracle.jdbc.oracle_driver. So might be oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle_driver, that is deprecated right from Oracle 9i version onwards. So Oracle 9i version onwards, the alternative class is oracle.jdbc.oracle_driver. Then after that, here we need to go for connection object. We need to create connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. 3 method parameter here I want to use. So JDBC colon Oracle colon in colon @localhost colon 1521 colon xe. URL we provided. Database username here we need to provide. My database username would be system, and my database password here I need to provide, that would be which one, Durga for example, and semicolon. So connection is established. Then after that I need to get statement object. To get statement java.sql, st is equal to count dot create statement, no parameters for it. Then after that I want to get result set object, result set rs is equal to st dot execute query. Then here I need to provide select SQL query, select a star from emp1. In my database table emp1 almost all 4 records might be existed, 4 columns are existed there, envo, ename, esal and eaddr. Then after that I want to prepare format to display the data. So here sysout we need to use. Then here I want to provide envo/t to get a tab of space, ename/t, esal/t and eaddr, like this here we need to provide. Then after that sysout we need to provide one line space here. Then after completion of it I need to take a while loop, while rs dot next method. This loop will be repeated until we encounter like a false value from next method. Then after that system.out.println print method I want to use there, rs dot get int of 1, like this. Then after that and I need to take a /t. Then after that system.out.println of print method, not println, print method, rs dot get a string of 2 and plus /t. You know already what is the difference between print method and println method. In Java, println method will display the message and keep the cursor in the next line in command prompt, but print method will display the message and keeping the cursor in the same line. There is a difference here. System.out.print method, next one is rs dot get a float method, get a float 3 we need to provide and plus /t. Next one after completion of it system.out.println of. Then here I need to go for rs dot get a string. This is about employee address. Now here I need to provide 4 and now at the end I need to use println. Why? Because after displaying 4 columns of data, the next column data we have to display, so that we have to bring cursor to the next record. That's why here directly I use the println method. Still if you want to use print method, at the end here we need to use /n here now, like this. After completion of this, just I want to close all this content now. Let's say for example st dot close method, and after that con dot close method here we are going to provide. By this here we are able to get this JDBC application, and let me execute it. And before going to execute this program, let me check whether data is available in database table or not. Let me check this. So let me open database SQL plus system/Durga, like select a star from emp1. So no records are existed clearly, no rows are existed. Just I want to insert some records of data, values of 111 comma AAA comma 5000 comma Hyderabad single quotation. This is one record, and second record I want to insert same SQL query, values are different, like BBB and 6000 Hyderabad, and in the same way another one it would be like 333 and like CCC, and here 7000 and Hyderabad. And similarly another record, fourth record 444, now it would be like DTD and 8000 and Hyderabad. 4 records I inserted, and let me perform commit operation. Whenever we are performing modifications over database table, it is suggestible to perform commit operations clearly. So database side is okay. Now let me take the values, select a star from emp1. So 111 222 333 444, these records are created in our database table. Open our JDBC program and execute this JDBC program. When we execute this JDBC program, automatically we are able to get some results clearly. So now here the result console we open here. Now envo, ename, esal and eaddr, and here automatically 4 records data what we entered on database table, all 4 records data are displayed in our console. Clearly, this is about an application to retrieve the data from database table clearly. That's all.